It's giving Pride and Prejudice. It's giving unrequited love. My stomach and my heart at the same time fell out of my butt. The hurt is hurting real bad. And as someone who self-isolates when they're not feeling great, I was like, oh my gosh, this book is going to make me cry. Welcome or welcome back to my channel. My name's Tori if you're new. We are starting a weekly reading vlog that is also a challenge vlog. We are going to be getting back into my habit of reading 100 pages every single day at minimum. I'm super excited to talk about this week's TBR. If you are too, please be sure to give this video a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel. Let's talk about what we want to read this week. We're being good nuggets and we're going to read the books that are actually on our TBR list. That doesn't happen very often for me, or at least not in recency. I've been in the mood for dark fantasies lately. I think that reading A Multitude of Dreams really reignited and rekindled the fire in my heart for dark fantasy books. We're having a dark spooky spring moment and we're just embracing it. The first one we have House of Salt and Sorrows by Erin Craig. This book is about our main character. Her name is Anna Lee and she has 12 sisters. They live in this really dark, gothic, moody castle by the sea, and their society is a very sea-oriented society. I posted like a mood board of this book on my Instagram. I'll try to like pop it up here. It's such a vibe. It's such a vibe. So Anna Lee has lived a sheltered life at Highmoor with her sisters. There were once 12, but loneliness fills the grand halls now that 4 of the girls' lives have been cut short, each death more tragic than the last. Anna Lee starts becoming disturbed by these ghostly visions from her sisters who have passed away, and she feels like they're trying to tell her something, warn her of something, and she is on a mission to make sure no more of her sisters die. And can she break this, what seems to be a curse that's on her family, so they can continue to live their lives? I'm going to talk to you more about this one because I've already started it and I'm 150 pages in, but let's get to the other books on the TBR first. The next one I'm super excited for, which I just picked up very recently, is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. This synopsis caught my eye immediately when I read it because it sounds so interesting and like a very unique premise. Our main character has the most tongue-twistery name. Our main character, Elspeth Spindle, has this monster trapped in her head. She calls him the Nightmare, and he is an ancient mercurial spirit. He protects her, he keeps her secrets, but basically he's in her brain, inhabiting her body, which is odd. So we have a main character that's kind of 2 characters, if you will. I'm interested to see the interactions between the nightmare in her head and her. Elspeth is kind of like journeying around. She meets a mysterious highwayman on the forest road and her life takes a drastic turn. She's thrust into a world of shadow and deception. She joins a dangerous quest to cure Blunder, which is her kingdom, of the dark magic that's infecting it, except the highwayman just so happens to be the king's own nephew, captain of the most dangerous men in Blunder, and guilty of high treason. And then the last book that we have for this week is going to be Vespertine by Margaret Rogerson. I have the audiobook for this one, and I cannot wait to get back into Margaret Rogerson's world, head, her writing. I am just so obsessed with Margaret Rogerson. This is the TBR for the week. I am very excited. Okay, let's do an update on House of Salt and Sorrows because, like I mentioned, I'm 150 pages in. I started this and I was ready to just vibe, like go along for the ride, no thoughts, head empty, let's just see what happens. It's very much giving dark fairy tale. There are obviously our 12 sisters. 4 of them have died, so there's 8 left, but it is party dresses, entitlement. They are very sheltered. They just live their rich girl princess lives. They're all being impacted by a lot of death and grief in their lives, none of which seems to be weighing too heavily on them anymore. They want to get out of their grief and they want to start like living their lives again. A lot of these girls are 16 or older, and so they're looking to come out to society, to find husbands, to find boyfriends. A lot of them haven't been kissed before. It's very YA, but it's been really fun. And then I like the dark elements that have come into play, like the very macabre ghosts that they're seeing. They basically see their sisters exactly as they were when they died. So there was one girl who fell from a really high cliff into the ocean. And let's just say when they see her, she's not looking too great. There's a good balance between like light and unserious moments, and then the dark, more serious, more spooky type moments. I still have to read my 100 pages for the day, so that would bring me to page 250. I'll give an update on this probably tomorrow. I have to finish working for the day, and I won't get to reading until later, so we will talk soon. Morning besties, happy Monday. I am now more than halfway through the book. I'm on page 266 and I've been really vibing with this book. So the thing is, now that I'm more than halfway, it's reading like a mystery thriller. So I will say the horror bits that I've encountered so far, they're not super overly scary. There's some intriguing love interests where we're trying to figure out, are these gentlemen good, or do they have some nefarious intentions with our little girly pops? I'm not sure in terms of a star rating where I'm going to land. I want to leave that to the very end because I feel that the ending will have a big determination over my final thoughts on this book. I went to sit down to read my 100 pages. I ended up reading a little bit over. I read like 120 pages. I just didn't want to put it down. I got to a really juicy part in the book and I was like, I'm just gonna keep reading. I had this book sitting on my shelves for a really long time because I bought it and then I heard a lot of mid reviews about it and that put me off of it for a really long time. And now look at us now, like we're enjoying it. So the other book that I read spontaneously and finished last night is called The Moth Keeper by Kay O'Neill. This is a graphic novel that was just adorable and cute. I love Kay O'Neill's illustration style. They have the cutest illustration style I have ever seen. It's the same author and illustrator of the Tea Dragon Society, which are just the cutest books in the entire stinking world. The mental health representation hit very close to home. I felt very seen. And so our main character is living in this world where there is a society that lives by the night. They live in the desert. Basically, like the moon spirit established this village and they live by the night. For the night village, it's really important for them to have these moths that the moon spirit gifted to them, and there's a special role in the society of the moth keeper because the moth keeper at night has to have this little lantern and they have to keep the lantern lit so that the moths don't get lost in the dark. And as someone who self-isolates when they're not feeling great, I was like, oh my gosh, this book is going to make me cry. But it's so sweet. I mean, Kay O'Neill just talks about serious topics, but in a really gentle way. So if you're looking for a graphic novel to pick up, highly recommend this book, and then also the Tea Dragon Society as well. So cute, so stinking cute. I absolutely hit my 100 pages goal yesterday. I want to say it was like 230 pages. So 230 pages from The Moth Keeper, 120 pages of House of Salt and Sorrow. My goal is to finish House of Salt and Sorrows today because I want to get started on One Dark Window. I have like 130 pages left of this, and we're gonna try to get it done today. I was just making my lunch and I'm listening to House of Salt and Sorrows on audio because I have a lot of calls today and it's going to be a very worky day. So I just wanted to see if the audiobook was available on Libby, and it was. So I'm listening. I was on chapter 28, so that's like, I just picked up listening. I just needed to react to the plot twists. I'm now at like 82% in the book. And we're starting to get to all the really juicy plot reveals and stuff like that. And oh my god, it's so good. It is blowing my absolute mind. But I need to know, like, I just need to know. I need to know how this ends. I need to know more. I am just so enthralled in this book right now. It didn't seem like it was gonna be this juicy at the end. This is getting dark and this is getting crazy, and so many people are like not who you think they are, and like you have actually no idea what's going on for the majority of the book, and then you get to the end and you're like, there is no way. There is no way. I am really enjoying this book, so I figured I would give that update. I get to listen to this book for I think another hour or so, so I think I should be able to finish it. I'm listening to it on 2x speed. We're back from the post office. I just had to mail a Pango order and I was listening to House of Salt and Sorrows. I finished it. Okay, the ending of this was really unexpected. I'm torn between a 3.5 or a 4-star because in terms of enjoyment level, I think this was a 4-star. I liked it. I was in the story. I liked the vibes. The ending was so much more gruesome and like dark than I thought it was going to be, but I really liked it. Writing style and overall, I think that this book is more of like a 3.5 star, and that means I've also hit my page goal for today because I had like 140 pages left of that book, so we've hit that for the day. Now I think I'm going to start One Dark Window next, and I might read like the first 50 pages of this later tonight. I totally forgot to mention this in my update for this book, but if you don't like gruesome pregnancies and like birthing scenes, you will not like this book. I was really surprised with how horrid the birthing scene is at the end, and I feel like that should be a trigger warning because if you're not ready for it, it's pretty gross. Also meant to say that if you were a fan of The Depths by Nicola Sprance, which is a YA horror kind of thriller book, I think that you might like this as well. It's very similar, like mystery thriller type vibes, but this one goes a little more gruesome, I'll say, in the horror department, like right at the very end. Guess who has something exciting? I think this is my phone. this box leads me to believe that it's my phone. I'm not looking forward to completely setting up a new phone because it's always a pain in the butt, but I am obsessed with the purple. Oh my gosh, this is sick! This is so cool. You wanna know the scariest part of this? I ordered a case, but it's not gonna be here until Wednesday, so I have to take care of this phone for 2 days. But it's so pretty. It's all purple on the sides too, and then the back. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. On Wednesday, and I realized I barely vlogged a dang thing today. So I don't really have too much of an update on One Dark Window because last night I only read one chapter. So I'm on page 16. I like the setup so far, but obviously I need to get more into the story. So I'm about to do that right now. I'm about to sit down and read. I'm gonna pour myself a little diet soda, a little Diet Coke. We're gonna sit down, put on an ASMR room, and get into the vibes for this book because I can't wait. And so many wonderful, amazing people have told me that they've loved this book and it was one of their favorite books that they've read either last year of 2022 or that they've read recently, and now I need to know. Also, I had zero expectation of there being a romance in here, and I'm a big dum-dum head, and this is a fantasy romance. So there's a romance in here and I actually cannot wait. So we're gonna get into this right now, and then I will have some actual reading updates for you. I was working on my lunch break. Instead of reading, I went to the gym, which felt really nice. I also filmed a video. So I'm trying to pre-film some stuff for when I go back to Massachusetts next week so that everything is just all set and ready to go. That's what most of the day consisted of, and now the end of the day is going to consist of reading. Some words about this book now that I'm actually in it. I read up to page 158 last night. I'm now on part 2. I am loving this book. So first off, I'm sorry that I haven't gotten any cute like V-roll and stuff for today. It is Wednesday. This week has really just been, I'll say yesterday was not a fun day. We had a cry. We had a panic attack. I could not go to sleep last night for the life of me. I was just like laying in bed and my heart was pounding in my chest and I couldn't get it to stop. So I read for a really long time last night, which was amazing. I got to the part that I wanted to, and my eyeballs were tired. Like I was physically tired, but anytime I stopped reading or like then I switched to watching Gilmore Girls, and when I was like, wasn't like actively doing something with my brain, like reading, my mind was just spiraling with worst case scenarios about work. And so I was like panicking, could not shut my brain off even though I like wanted to go to sleep. My body was keeping me awake. And so
that was super fun.
Today has been a good day so far. It has been busy. I've gotten a lot done that I needed to, which I'm really, really happy, so that hopefully tomorrow can be like a chill day. So that is why there really haven't been too many clips from today, so apologies. Now that I'm much more established, I'm much more into this book, I feel that I have a much better understanding, and I actually have some updates. I think it is so interesting that Elspeth has this monster in her head that is an ancient being. I have some ideas of who I think it might be. I love their dynamic. I think that their relationship is just really interesting. And then we got so much tea about like the royal family and these kind of like royal guard type people who protect the kingdom from those that are infected with this dark magic that's taking over the world. I love the society in this book. I think it's so interesting that these are like woodsy people. There's this really creepy fog, like mist everywhere, and the townspeople, the village people all have to avoid walking in the mist because that's how you can get infected with the dark magic. I love that all of the families' last names are named after trees. These are just the most naturey forest people, and I'm living. I am living. The other aspect of this book that has me breathless, like I just need to know what happens, is this romantic setup between our main character Elspeth and what's his name? And Raven. It's giving Pride and Prejudice. It's giving unrequited love. It's giving everything that I ever wanted. I just can't even deal with it. It's very, nothing's actually even happened yet, but it's just like their interactions. The tea that we've learned about Raven, he's so suspicious, and he's like definitely, he's like morally gray, but also he's not. He's going against what he should be doing in his role and his title, but his motivations make sense. Safe to say I'm absolutely loving this. I'm going to continue with it today. I'm going to aim for at least another 150 pages. That's like baseline. I really want to finish this book by tomorrow so that I can at least get started with Vespertine. I do have the audiobook for Vespertine, but I haven't been doing activities where I like to listen to audiobooks. Like, I haven't had to do a lot of cleaning so far this week. Chores for me equals listening to an audiobook. The other exciting update is that I got a really cute new phone case. So there's that. It arrived today, thankfully, because I was stressy about dropping my phone since it didn't have a case on it for a really long time. I say a really long time. 2 days I didn't have a case for this phone, but I was very stressy because we're not trying to break her. She's so pretty. So yeah, it has little butterflies, and I like that it's like wiggly around the sides. So that's my positive thing for the day. Happy Thursday. I have some incredible updates for this book. I am so excited to know what happens, but I literally don't want it to end. Like, I have been loving reading this book so much. If I could pick one book to live inside of, it would be this. Like, just picture misty, ancient, magical forests that have an ominous, like, dark vibe because the mist is really, like, thick and creepy. but at the same time there's stone castles everywhere, and there's like ruins of old castles, overgrown gardens. There's knights, there's forest people, like everyone is just obsessed with the forest and lives by the forest. There is the spirit of the woods, who's like this creepy, magical spirit woman. I read up to page 252, so I did read my 100 pages last night. I forced myself to continue reading because I was so tired, but I was like, I need to get to page 252. So I'm now on chapter 23. We got a first kiss. It was a moment. There was also a really big plot reveal that I think for the reader, it's much more apparent what the reveal was going to be. But for our main character, she was like shocked. I definitely wasn't shocked. I saw it coming, so that was a little bit transparent, but I think it's intentionally transparent for the reader to know that that's coming. Raven, I think, is my new book husband, like not even boyfriend material. He is a husband. Thank you so much to Rachel Gillig for changing my entire life. As if I haven't told you the 1,000,001 reasons why I love One Dark Window, I also need to mention how impressed I am by all of the rhyming and like riddles. So each chapter starts off with this little card and it all has a rhyme, and then not only that, throughout some of the language that's in the actual text of the chapters, there's also a lot of these riddles ingrained in this society that a lot of people have memorized. They're so good. They're literally so good, and it really just adds to the lore. Just listen to this. Practice restraint and know it by touch. Use cards when they're needed, but never too much. For too much of fire, our swords would all break. Too much of wine a poison doth make. Excess is grievous, be knave, maid, or crown. Too much of water, how easy we drown. I'm obsessed, if that wasn't clear enough already. Good morning, besties. Apologies if you can hear some smooth jazz in the background. I have it on. For JMO because I'm leaving to go to the airport very, very shortly, and I need to put on my sunscreen and some like minimal makeup. It is currently like 6:30 in the morning because I'm leaving today to go back to Massachusetts, which I'm excited about, but I've been traveling so much lately and I'm very much a homebody that I'm like, I can't wait to just come back home. And I'm gonna miss this little nugget boy. Look at him. He's the cutest thing ever. Okay. So last night I finished One Dark Window. I can't even describe, my stomach and my heart at the same time fell out of my butt. Like, I am distressed. And the fact that we have to wait until October for the next book, there's no words to describe the pain that I'm in right now. It was so good. I mean, nothing has changed. It's a 5-star for the writing and for how good of a book it was, but it's also a 1-star because I'm literally in so much freaking pain. The hurt is hurting real bad. Also, I don't have my glasses on, so I'm like this close to the mirror while I'm trying to do my makeup in like 5 seconds because the Uber is coming to pick me up like super soon. So I thought it was a really good ending. It was an ending that was, as a reader, you can see it coming. I think that the author set it up for that ending really, really well. It's a similar like suspense ending as The Ballad of Never After. Like, if you read The Ballad of Never After and you're in suspense like me until September with that one as well, you will hate me if you read One Dark Window and the second book doesn't come out until October. Oh my god. Bless up for coffee, fam. I don't know what I would do without it. Also, y'all, hopefully I remember to put in the clip of the sunset this morning. Hopefully I remember to put in the clip of the sunrise this morning because it was so pretty. J-Mo and I were absolutely awestruck. It was gorgeous. The whole sky was pink. And that was just such a beautiful way to start off the day today. So I think the last thing that I need to say is I took a massive L on getting to Vespertine this week. I'm going to still get to it. All right, my friends, and with that, I'm going to love you and leave you. I hope that you enjoyed this reading vlog. If you did, please be sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you want to see more. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read either House of Salt and Sorrow or One Dark Window, because I want to scream about it with you. And I will see you in my next one. Bye!